agree that we should stick to review class today, since we could not review, and then all of you falling behind with IQ, OQ, and PQ, it's only proper to stuck to IQ, OQ, PQ for this week. So you see, with you guys, I'm stuck too. I cannot finish the class in 7 weeks, but don't blame me. One of the students blamed me in the past that was, sir, you could not finish in 7 weeks. I said, yes, that's true. But, things doesn't happen always, the way you want it. And it's okay. Nothing wrong about it. So I had some good conversation with Avas ji yesterday, and thank God, only Avas called me for some questions on IQ. Why none of you guys called me? If you were struggling with your homework, especially for the girls, I like to talk. Why didn't you guys call me? Sorry, Arjun sir, I like to talk to you too.
No, you good.
But what's going on? First, share with me, talk to me, feel free, express yourself. Tell me what's going on in your mind. The thing is, I want you to go through that. In one of my class, one of the students tell me that Dhruv sir likes to give pain to students. And that's true. I realized it. I like to give some pain because without that pain, you're not going to get out, to the other side of the line. So I totally get it. You guys are going through a lot of brainstorm, a lot of pain, a lot of confusion, a lot of question. And it's totally normal, totally fair. It's, it's part of the game. That you should go through those, difficult time. If you don't go through those difficult time, you're not going to understand what is IQ, OQ, PQ. Plus, what I'm teaching you is not for some certificate. I can give you a certificate tomorrow that you all passed A grade, but that's not going to help you. Am I right? It's what you hear is for how you're going to work in the future in a real world, where they will pay you top dollar and they will expect you to do these things. IQ, OQ, PQ for them. Am I right? So how you going to manage? You're going to have different systems to do IQ, OQ, PQ. If you have not understood the concept, if you don't have this clarity, if you have not done enough brainstorming, how you going to understand how to do IQ, OQ, PQ for other systems? So Avasji, it showed your commitment. I liked it that you reached out to me and you texted me, Dhruv sir, I want to talk to you, and you talked about those questions. That shows your commitment. That shows your, you want to do it. Most of you are hesitant with me, probably, don't want to talk to me. That's fine, but you have to talk to me, at least for this 2 months. After this class, if you don't call me, I'm okay. In fact, if you don't call me, then I feel better because then I will think that he's doing fine. But right now, I'm pretty sure you're not doing fine. So yeah, go ahead. Floor is open. Talk about yourself. Tell me what's going on in your mind. I like to hear. I like to learn. What do you? Where you stuck with your IQ, PQ?
In my part, I try to start the beginning, but I don't have any idea what to write in the starting, and I stuck about 10-15 minutes, and after then I think, oh, it is not concentration right now, so I need to skip right now and I'll do later. But later never came again, and another class started now.
Okay, no problem. I understand. Don't be worried. Yes, Sonisa, you wanted to say something?
Yeah, so my first question is like, do we have to make our own URS and FRS like separate?
Didn't I say that in the class?
Yeah, but we have
And
to make it, yeah.
every team updated their uploaded their URSFRS. That was the purpose, that you have to come up with your own URSFRS now. You
Okay.
made it in the team, now copy and paste. It's easy. Whatever URSFRS you think is proper and right, even other teams have thought through, you had to build your own URSFRS, and based on that you had to write your IQ OQPQ. Yes, so
So we need to make RRA or no?
of course, you
Okay.
have to add those if you add some.
Yeah, I found some points from other team also, but I was confused. Like we have to make our own URS and FRS all again or no? Okay. Mm, yeah, I got it.
Um,
Okay.
Dhruva sir,
Uh-huh.
I have a question that I need to create the FRS from the printer, or can I do other also? Only printer, right?
You can do other also if you want to. I don't mind.
Oh,
Any system you can give me URSFRS.
just
Yes, sir.
I'm
Good
okay.
morning,
Go ahead.
everybody.
Manoji, how are you? I was
I'm doing
watching
well,
your
sir.
beautiful song you posted.
Thank you, sir.
This
That was
weekend you
just
made my
dedication to my
weekend.
guru.
Yeah,
Thank you, sir.
and yeah, very beautiful. You
And
are a true singer, and I
thank
love
you,
you.
sir.
I love you for that. But
Thank
now
you.
become a good validation engineer.
I'm
Don't
trying to,
fail
sir.
me.
So
Okay.
the question Sony sir raised, I am kind of was wondering about the same thing, because when I was doing the RRA,
Mhm,
so there in with our group URS and FRS, especially FRS.
mhm,
Uh, I felt kind of sometimes it's like the FRS we wrote
mhm.
is insufficient for to do the RRA.
That's good. I understand. Yeah, I
Yeah,
totally understand that. And don't be worried about it because you're not going to make it perfect right now.
yeah. No, I mean to say that if
Yeah,
so, and those.
because you guys have very limited time. In 2 months, you're going to become an engineer. Think
Yeah.
about it. University takes 4 years to make you engineer. Here in 2 months, you're going to become an engineer. It's a hard work. It's a lot of homework to do. Totally
So
agree.
it looks like
Yeah.
we have to make if you want to build our own IQ, QPQ, or RRA even,
Mhm.
we have to make the URS and FRS like an open floor, because if something difficult comes up or some thought comes up, or this might be this way, so we can add some URS FRS is there. Is that okay?
Okay, sure. Totally okay. All right, Sonika, tell me what's going on.
Okay, so I haven't looked into like scope and in scope. I try to start with the test script directly, just to get the knowledge like how I'm gonna start. So first thing I stuck is what are the different. I can't like I see that test objective and acceptance criteria are in same row. So I feel like it should be different. I don't know how real world work on it. So that's one thing where I got stuck.
Okay.
Mm. And other thing is, as you said, we're doing IQ on the base of design spec, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I've seen like other putting URS and FRS number on it. So I feel like it's not necessary. So that's the second place where I got stuck on it. And yeah, like would you clarify those first, and then
Sure,
I have like more
sure.
questions. How
Anything for beautiful lady, but hold on to the thought. Roshan, how are you doing?
I'm
Handsome?
good. Well, for the most part, I was playing catch up because I
Uh-huh.
missed the lecture before the Labor Day, so I kind of
Okay.
went through the video.
Okay.
I mean, I'm pretty since Avash that helped me with. We had a group call yesterday, and
Mhm.
he like kind of explained what you guys talked about and
Uh-huh.
explained that we need to, to test one's hardware verification, test
Mhm.
2 assembly, test 3 software. So
Mhm.
I have all that clear now. I just need to put in the work. I have one question on section 8 of the IQ document.
Sure.
So there's
Hold on to that thought. The question, when I will review the Krista's IQ,
okay,
at that time, you point it out, okay?
sure, no worries.
All right. Durgaji, I was expecting more from you, man. What's happening?
I'm lagging behind.
What's the reason?
I just need to put more work. This whole week I haven't been able to get much time.
Okay.
I was traveling and in and out. So,
No problem. No problem.
like
Good
I said, I'm
morning.
gonna need probably another week or so.
Good
before I
morning,
get it
Ravi
completed.
sir. Where have
Sir,
you been? We missed you so much.
No, sorry for the confusion. Look at the email. That's for 19th.
Is it?
Yeah,
Uh-oh.
I just opened that. Let's open anyway. Then it came up. I sent all that email asking all my group people.
Okay, we'll talk about it. If you have not saved in your calendar, you get confused. So this class has supposed to stay in your calendar forever. And once you save it, it stays there every Sunday, 8 o'clock California
Okay.
time.
Got it.
So we'll talk about it in a
Okay.
in a
Okay.
bit.
Okay.
Girija-ji, where are you at, handsome?
Just lagging behind.
Lagging
Because of
behind?
the festival
Okay.
that we had,
Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
You have a girlfriend?
No.
Oh, if I would be handsome like you, I would have 2 girlfriends.
Really?
Okay, catch up. Let's catch up. Ishwarji, where are you at?
I try to write some IQ, but I don't know how details we need to go. For example, like installing a driver. Do we need
Yes.
to write everything, driver, download, and setup, everything steps, or
That's correct. You have to.
and
Very good.
another
We're gonna
part
go
is-
in one of the document.
another
Uh,
part is OQ. OQ, as you said, is every FRS has a OQ.
Yeah.
For example, business requirement, we almost have a 50 FRS.
Yes.
How to divide those FRS in the test, how many tests we need to do like that.
Okay. Very good question.
Where
So
that includes how many, suppose around how many tests we need to perform. those
very
things
good
are
question.
still
That
confusing.
means you've been thinking, which is good. It's a good sign. We'll get there. Resamji,
And,
yeah.
sorry,
Yeah, go ahead.
and
finish.
especially the
Mhm.
security requirement,
Mhm.
there's a lot of IT involvements, IT skills.
Okay.
So like a database or other audit fields, how much knowledge I think we need to use for upon IT, or just need to go details, or just
Sure.
writing
Sure.
charts.
Sure. Well, we will get there. You have a genuine questions, very good questions. So in a bit, we're gonna dig deeper. But I see you have been thinking, which is a good sign. Resam sir, where are you at?
Yeah, I'm also like others. I mean, just like it's talk. Yeah, then URS, FRS, which to choose, which to not. There are so many kind of confusion. That's my perspective.
Very good.
And like Manoj said, can we take like any of the URS, FRS, or we have to have we have to choose from our one like team. For example, our team is C, so we have to take URS, FRS from only from that project, or can take from other. So that's the big question for me. So there is so many FRS, URS, and which to choose, which not. That is kind of confusing too.
Sure. and it's very natural and very normal, and we'll get there. Chaitanya, where are you at? What's happening? I understand you had Ganesh Chaturthi. Did you make some laddu?
Yeah, it's compulsory for Ganesh Chaturthi.
Okay, but now it's time to make IQ, OQ, PQ.
Yeah.
Okay, tell me what's
I'm
happening.
working on it and I just completed my URS FRS and
Okay.
I'm going to write IQ.
Okay, no problem. I'm expecting very good IQ, OQ, PQ from you, Chaitanya.
Oh, sure. I'll try.
You know, in IT field, Hyderabad people rule. So you have to show some strength.
Sure.
Okay. Prajita, how are you?
I'm good, sir. Thank you. How are you?
Yeah, I was missing you in the class, girl.
Yeah, I missed my first alarm.
All right, no problem. Did you start IQ, OQ, PQ?
I did the URS and FRS, but not more than that.
Okay, no problem. No problem. Time to come to IQ, OQ, PQ. Samiksha, what's happening, girl? Sorry that you missed your Hawaii trip. You know, I was more than you, I was excited. What's happening?
Actually, I am almost done with writing the test script, but I'm confused in some of the part, like what to write in scope field, purpose. So I'm waiting for the revision.
Okay, no problem. That's good. At least you have done some work. So that's good. Ravi sir, have you started IQ, OQ, PQ or not yet? You're on mute, yes.
Not yet.
Not yet. Okay, so where are you at? Tell me exactly.
I'm just with my group, just trying to understand the entire process since I did not attend the beginning 2-3 classes. So this is just like acclimatization with the process, the whole thing.
Okay.
That is what I'm doing right now, how this process works.
No problem. I understand you lagging behind a little bit because you started late. So lots to catch up, but it's time you have to catch up. So let's talk about that in a bit.
Yeah, the group is very helpful. They are pulling me up. So there, and unfortunately, David had situation because of the flooding and all that.
Yes, yes.
So there was something going on there, and then the group is helping me a lot.
Very good. Avinash, you talk less anyway. What's going on? I like your background.
Morning, sir. Yeah. I like the background.
How are you doing?
It's good, sir. Yeah.
Okay. Where are you stuck?
Actually, I stuck on those I haven't started it, but like I just collect the data like from your RS and like the way just I follow the templates that you have just sent it. And like like it's really bit complicated. Like the way that you manage it.
Ravi sir, can you mute yourself, please? Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Go ahead. Yeah.
Okay, so I just figuring out the data as like from the URS and IQ PQ, but I haven't a little bit confused on both like also.
Sure, no problem, no problem. Milanji, I want to talk to you.
Oh, hi, I'm outside, so I was not on opening my video.
Okay, no problem. Tell me what's going on.
Yeah, I'm working on my own URS FRS. I haven't started IQ PQ. I'm sorry about that one. I'm lagging behind.
Okay, no problem.
I'm still on my vacation. That's why I'm still on outside.
Sure.
Thank you.
No problem. Have fun. But stick there. Ayush. Is David here? David? Okay. Who is VE? All right. So let's go first through Krista's document. Krista, with your permission, I'm opening your document to the class. Don't feel exposed.
Okay. And this is a rough draft. So I know there's like, I still need to do, like I need to separate some stuff. There's still stuff that needs to be done. So just don't
No
be
problem.
too hard on me.
No problem. Understand. And
I'm nervous. What if you think it's bad?
no, don't be worried.
The main thing that like, because I mean, like doing the test scripts is it's pretty much it's to me easier because I mean, it's just instructions. But the main thing that I struggled with, and I struggled in last class, and I was so intimidated, was doing the scope and purpose and in scope and out of scope. And now I think I've got a complete understanding of it.
All right.
That's fine on the top.
So see, now I can say that white people can also learn IT. I was in a bad impression that all the blondes and and redheads.
That only the brown people are smart. Is that what you're trying to say?
Yeah. Brown people is always smarter.
That's what I told them. I said in my interview, I'm going to tell them that I got into this because my husband is into it too. And I was like, they're going to think I'm smart because I married a brown guy.
That's correct. So yeah, I see your title is a rough draft, but
I'll change all that. This is all just like
okay.
Rough draft.
All right, so let's pay attention first on this document, okay? IQ. So you have done some work on IQ, and all of you gonna look at it. Avas, I didn't need to talk to you because I already talked with you where you at. So we'll catch up in a bit, after this review. All right, okay. So guys, pay attention. This is installation qualification. Can anybody tell me what does installation qualification means? What do you understand by installation qualification?
I can go then.
Go ahead, please, Avas.
So the installation qualification is the procedures or the process where we make sure the system has been installed as per the vendor or manufacturer requirement. So just making sure that it has been installed correctly as per the requirement.
Very good, very good. Anybody else wants to add anything? So what is installation? I was, when I came to America from Nepal, first time I went to IKEA, I needed one, desktop, a tabletop where I can put my computer. So it was, nice ad, and I went there, and then they gave me a box. And then they told me that just go and, install yourself, go figure. I was more like, okay, in my country where I came from, we don't install, we get things installed. How come I have to install all these bits and pieces? I never saw in Nepal that, we have to go and install our own furniture, it always came as installed. So anything you buy, software, hardware, anything, in America or in this part of the world, especially you have to install yourself, So how do you install? What Code of Federal Regulation or, FDA wants you to show with proof that how did you install everything? Did you install it right or not? That's the first question. Because unless you install it right, you're not going to have that system or equipment right. It's not going to produce what it's supposed to produce. Am I right? So, what happened with IKEA furniture, We tried like 2-3 days over the weekend and we could not figure it out. We did like basic, but then we could not figure it out. So we had to call the company, hey, what kind of puzzle you gave me? You know, this is not right.
IKEA is the worst.
Worst. And,
Oh my God.
and I was so excited to buy the very, classy, table with all the CD plays. You remember those days it used to come, where you could put your CD and all those things.
So you bought like an entertainment center with a CD holder?
I know.
What were you thinking?
I didn't thought that I have to do all these
You gotta keep it
installations.
simple at IKEA.
I know. So I didn't think that time I was too naive not to think that, these small pieces might give me a lot of, thinking to do. But eventually we had to call the guy from IKEA and he came and he did it in half an hour. That's it. It was done. So if you know how to install things, it's easy. But if you don't know, if you have never done it, of course, it takes time a little bit and, it gets difficult and, you have to do a lot of brainstorm. But the point is how you install, whether your software, your hardware, and whatever you do in order to install, you have to write it down. That is your installation qualification. What are all the things do you need in your installation of anything? Thank God we don't have to install the car. Otherwise, it would be nightmare. But software installation is easy. It's very easy. They made it very easy. All they do is come up with link, or it used to come before CD, and you have to put your CD inside your laptop, and it will prompt some of the windows, and you start run, and they would ask you license key number, and you put those license key number, and boom, it's installed in your computer. But these days they got rid of that CD too. No more CD. They come up with the link. Just click the link and it installs. And you follow the instruction. It's all user friendly, and it's a very logical. So you don't need to be kind of software engineer to do that. If all of us do it, like if you buy a simple printer, we all have done installing inside our laptop. So one of the things I told you guys in last class that, hey, go and buy a printer from the Best Buy and start from the beginning, opening from the box, and start writing everything, what all you are doing. Those are your steps. And install it. And then once you're done, next day, go and return it. It's a brown people trick. Krista.
It's a brown people trick.
Yeah.
I'm learning all the tricks.
Yeah. And then go and return it. Your installation is complete. You have installed a printer.
It doesn't work, huh?
Yeah, just don't even need to give too many reasons, Girjaji. Just tell, oh, this is not the printer I wanted, so I'm returning. The good thing we are in America and they take return. One time I was traveling with my kid. I was going to Varanasi. So my kid, there was when people comes and sell stuff in train. So there was a tomato soup. So my son said, hey, I want tomato soup. He was little, he was 7 years old. He took that tomato soup, he tasted a little bit, I don't like it, take it back. But that guy said, oh, which planet you came from? We don't take it back.
And then you come to America, you can go out to eat and be like, eat almost everything and say,
yeah, and
oh,
say,
I
oh,
didn't like it.
I didn't like it. Take it back. Sorry. and they still take it. So the good part is, that's how you do the installation. Am I right? It's and you write it down, all the steps you did for installation. It's so simple, So forget about design right now, forget about user manual, forget about everything. Just focus on what all the things you did in order to install your software and hardware. That is first thing. So in that process, installation is the first thing, main thing. First you install and then you check that, all the functionality which we wanted in our URS and FRS is there or not. If it's there, it's working or not. That's your OQ. And then you test your performance and you collect all the data, collect all the evidence, and you present it to FDA that, hey, this is my system installation, operation, and performance qualification. Here is the proof. You have to give the proof. Am I right? All your screenshots are proof that you have done it and you have done it right. Okay. That's the whole point of any system. It doesn't matter which system you're going to do. So let's go and dig here. I like it. Submitted to me, submitted by Krista Yadav. That sounds good. Krista Yadav is unique name.
I will take the last name.
Yeah. American Nepali combination. Okay, so this page you leave it empty as she left, because when do you fill these? When you execute. When you're gonna execute the protocol, that's when you're gonna have to fill these things. Okay, so you leave it as is. Right now you're writing only. After that you're gonna do execution. Let me check her table of content, and it is about right. So perfect.
Yeah, I had that was a pain in my rear for this.
That's good. So
but I figured it out. I figured it out. I figured out how to help it. And
yeah.
I did need to update it one more time, but I figured out with the heading and change it from normal. Like it took me a while, but I got it.
Okay. But still a little bit messy. Okay, it's here. Yeah, good job. So you have done it. So purpose and scope, the numbering is not right, girl. So you have to figure the number, because number one is a scope. What about the purpose?
So that's what I was wondering too. I didn't know if I needed to put purpose for one and then scope for two.
Of course.
Okay. So I'll do that. And also too, I wanted to ask you a question. Like, this may be a dumb question, but doing like with purpose and objectives, like I've had this questions with a lot of the other validation engineers too. Like, so on purpose for each document, does it just change like for the person, or for each document does it change? Because like some documents have purpose and some documents have objectives, but aren't those kind of the same thing? Or no?
Okay, so first thing, don't use that word dumb.
Okay.
You're not dumb, doesn't matter. Sometimes I make joke of your blonde people, but still.
I have moments.
So nobody is dumb here. If you're dumb, you should not be in this class anyway. You are validation engineer, and think like one, talk like one, walk like one.
Okay.
Second thing, these are learning things. Okay. So purpose and scope, in your template, it's already there, guys. You don't need to think too much about purpose and scope. Remember, when we used to do it, we used to have to write, from the beginning, purpose and scope and all those stuff. So if I go to template, it's already written there. All you do is you fill the blue font. So you see it's here. The purpose of this, OQ or PQ is to establish the documented evidence for a high level of assurance that the whatever system name you have, and this is already written, so you don't need to come up with new wording. Am I right?
Yeah. I
So
just
you
got ahead
just
of myself. Yeah.
so just fill up those and get rid of blue font and stick to black font.
Okay. And then some, like, say, like if I was doing like a validation plan, then it would have an objective, right?
That's right.
Okay. So that's what I was understanding.
Yeah, so you're not doing validation plan right now. Focus on your IQ.
I've been doing a lot of research.
Okay.
I've been learning a lot.
So purpose and scope, in scope, documentation requirements, hardware requirements, software requirements. That's good. Out of scope, network qualification, database qualification. That's good. I see everything is written there. For definition, you can refer, or you put some of the definition here, which is good. K for Kelvin.
Yeah, I need to change that.
You're not writing American history book, do you?
That was one of the old definitions too.
Yeah.
I need to change it.
It's like, it's like the white people think America means the world. If they have a basketball tournament, they say world tournament. So K for not Kevin, Krista.
Sorry, I'll change that one.
Yeah, I would rather say, if I'm Nepali, I would say K for Kailas. All right, so system description, you said you refer it to well plan, roles and responsibilities, which is all standard, which is good. And verification, validation, qualification approach. So, these are all your black font. You don't need to do any changes. Assumptions and limitations, that's where you have to pay a little bit attention. So assumptions are the database is connected to host computer. So now, if you have database, why are you saying that your database is out of scope? Tell me that.
I don't know. I assumed.
Don't assume. Everything you put here has to make some sense. Am I right?
Yeah.
So if you don't have database, then I understand. You can say database qualification is out of scope. But
Okay.
if you have, database qualification is out of scope, I understand. But
Yeah.
you still have to do database connection if you have a database. Am I right?
Okay. Yeah.
So that needs to be spelled out in assumptions. The printer is compatible to operating system. That's right. And if it needs Windows 10, then it has to have Windows 10 in your computer.
Right.
So the compatibility has to be there. Testers are well trained, which is good. And exclusion is label design, label content. Very good. I like that.
Thank you.
Yeah. Limitations are the printer has flash memory of this. The system has flash memory of 1 GB. The system allows maximum of 15 users to print at a time, which is also good. The system can generate the copies of label with a speed of 50 ppm, which is good. The system is to be able to print continuously for 16 hours. Girl, you putting it heavy duty, which is good.
Well, that's what you got to figure. If it's a pharmaceutical company, it's going to open at 9. It might not close till 10.
That's correct.
Like a CVS or something, or pharmacy.
That's correct. So in your test requirement, you have printer, driver, software, computer, ribbon roll, Wi-Fi, database, label, regulated and marked measuring essentials. Good. So all these things you need for your test. So that's your test requirements. Now let's These are all standard, verbiage. You don't need to change anything. Let's go to here. So verification of hardware and software installation. You put if you have USB 3.0 port or not, power cord not. So you are verifying your hardware here. All your hardware is there or not. So USB cable, computer, printer driver. All of these things you have it or not, and which is good. So, once you have all of these, you're ready for installation. So not bad, Krista. I thought worse. I thought worse.
I mean, I tried.
Okay. So signature log, you have left it because you fill it at the time of execution, which is good. It has to be empty. So now it starts your installation qualification here. So test execution preparation, your TEP. In TEP, what all the thing you need, and you need computer, you need printer, you need installed ink cartridge. So have you guys seen any printer comes with installed ink?
No, and I did that one because I had taken from another printer because you told me to do the URS and FRS. So I wanted to do something. I wanted to find something like that, like with the HPs. So that's why I did that.
Yeah. So in assembly, you're going to install your ink. Okay. Not before that. So it doesn't come installed cartridge. Right. Cartridge you have to install in your assembly. So remember that. Ribbon roll system should be connected to safe office network, internet connection to the printer system with power Wi-Fi connection, user ID and password set up in host computer according to roles and responsibilities. That's good. I like that. Calibrated and approved measuring tape. Good.
I remember that from last class.
Yes. Testers should be provided with authenticated login credentials. That's good. Testers should be provided with URL link to install driver to the computer system. Very good. So these are your test execution preparation. These are your TEP. All these things you need in order to install your software. Label printer software. So that's good. Now you go to test scripts dependency. So hardware verification, assembly verification, system software installation. So you have 3 test cases: test case 1, test case 2, test case 3, and test case 1 depend on none. Test case 2 depend on test case 1, and test case 3 depend on test case 1 and 2, which is also good.
And before you get to the bottom now, I have test case 2, but I need to separate and make another one for test case 3. So I still have to finish test case 3, but it's test case 3 is in test case 2. I just need to separate it.
Okay, no problem.
Dhruv sir.
Go ahead.
So I have still confusion on test script dependency. So how are we gonna connect that? Like it is dependent on test 1 or?
Okay, so Nisha, do you cook at home?
Yeah.
Sometime?
Yeah.
So unless you get your vegetable, how are you going to make your vegetable? Am I right?
So, okay.
Unless you put your rice and clean up, how are you going to make your rice? So what is your dependency first? What first you need to do? Am I right? So first you need to make sure your hardware is there. All your hardware verification is done. All the hardware, the wire, the printer, the cartridge, everything has to be there. All the hardware needs to be there in order to cook. Am I right? So that's what your dependency is. What is you have dependency? So she have 3 test cases. One, first, hardware verification. All the hardware you need in order to connect all these things together is your first thing.
Yeah.
Without it, you cannot go and install. Am I right? Mm-hmm. So, and then assembly is your second dependency. Once you have all the hardwares, then you're going to connect everything together, turn on your printer, turn on your computer, get inside their computer, connect everything together. That's your assembly. And then you go and install with the link. Am I right?
Yeah.
So this is how the process works. So when you cook, I have to go and buy the meat first in order to cook the meat.
Okay, so I thought like steps are connected, so we have to write that, but okay.
Yeah, it's how it's like, just like, like when you put eyelashes on, you have to have the glue, and the glue depends, the eyelashes depend on the glue. So like the assembly depends on test 1, but the hardware, it doesn't depend on anything because that's your hardware. So that's all your tools. So then you have like your assembly, but it depends on test 1 on the hardware to assemble. So you got to it depends on that eyelash strip. So I have to put on my glue to put that glue on to put on my eyelash. That's the best
That's
way.
a good example.
Because I started doing and I leave this test script part because like I was quite confused. So thank you.
Now is it clear?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So first thing first, that's your first thing. Without it, you cannot do your second thing. And without first and second thing, you cannot do your third thing. Am I right?
Yes.
So that's how the dependency works. So you need to clear it out. What is your dependency? So now let's go to test case 1, which is hardware verification first. So your hardware verification, the objective or acceptance criteria is system has USB port. Yes, the system has chamber to insert 4 different ink cartridges.
I need to change the number 4.
Yeah. Then you have the system has dimension, the printer has weight, all these hardware requirement you verify in your hardware verification. Am I right? So that's your first test case. So she have verified the following accessories are available in printer box, printer, USB cable, all these things. When you bring and open the box, first thing you have to open and make sure that every part of the hardware pieces are there. That's what you need to verify first. Before you go and install, first thing you have to check that in your box, every part hardware is there. So you can connect everything together. Am I right? It's a very simple. So this is what you are testing, and take a photo of item she put, which is good, and see attachment. So you're gonna put it as an attachment of the photo of each and every piece of hardware here. So that's a good test you have written here.
See, I can do hardware and like the general requirements all day long, but when it gets into the OQ and PQ, I'm like, oh, that's where it gets, because I mean, you have to really.
But it's vice versa, Krista. Some people have, difficulty writing IQ than OQ. OQ is easier.
See, I think this is going to be my strongest because I can really like write into detail, like because I already know. To me, it's
I see where you're going. Soon you're going to become a validation lead. Because
I'm trying.
Yeah.
I have a question about this.
Go ahead, Sonika.
So is it necessary to have the same order from the top when we do test script?
You tell me.
I'm asking you because I don't know.
Yes, it has to be in order.
Same order, like the top one.
What comes first? What you need first? And then what you need in the end. I mean, she have not put here the link yet. She's not verifying the link because you don't need link yet for software installation. First, you need hardware which you can connect and assemble. Am I right?
Mm-hmm.
Your link will come in the end when you need to click the link and install. So Arjun sir, have you ever installed anything in your computer?
No, I didn't do anything in my life, but I remember the what should I do, but it is everything. I try to remember the names.
Yeah, lucky you. These days, it's very hard
But
not
I'm
to
thinking
install
the,
anything in your computer. Yeah.
I am thinking the pen. It have
Okay.
4, 5 pieces, 6 pieces.
Yes.
If I separate it and
Yeah.
separate it and again try to fix it,
Yeah.
In the inside the
Installation.
ink, yeah, it is. I can do it, but I cannot do computer. But I am try to fix
You're
the
not
computer
doing
parts.
computer. You're not installing computer.
Oh,
Understand?
yeah.
What you are installing is what you are
Zebra,
installing is printer.
Zebra printer.
Yes.
And what really it helped me is especially with installation. That's why I'm worried about OQPQ. Like with installation, it's really you can use a lot of your user guides because it's all instructions. I mean,
That's
you
right.
have to dig deeper. It's not just a user manual. You can't just use a user manual. I mean, you have to dig deeper into it, but you can find all of these things if you look it up.
That's correct. So how to install anything in your computer? You know, that is your question. So, and what all the things you do in order to install? Am I right? It's very simple. And of course, you're old school. You know, you have not got opportunity to install anything in your computer. Usually we used to do it. If we need to install anything in Nepal, we don't install ourselves. We go to computer shop and tell them, hey, can you install me PDF? Can you install me Microsoft Office? And they do it for us. You know, we don't do it there. But here in first world, you have to do it by yourself. You don't have those small shops. I used to love those shops.
I bet you did.
Yeah.
Here, can you do this for me?
Yeah, they do it for you. You know, they are the expert. So you don't have to go through all those pain. But that's not true anymore. You know, in these days, you have to learn how to install things. So part of the installation is you installing a printer in your computer. You know, that is what you are doing. And these days, kids are very smart. They know how to
Yeah.
install things. You know, even my 5 years old know how to install.
Mhm.
You
Let me
know,
update this
right
real
away.
quick for
Yeah,
you,
right away
Dad.
he install his game. He installs so many games in his iPad.
That's so funny.
So, you know, you know, if I ask my 5-year-old son, hey, how do you do installation of the game? He gonna explain me, Papa, you're silly. Let me explain you. You just go to the game link. You need an iPad, you know, of course, that's your hardware. And you go and, you know, click on the install button of the game and it start installing and then it asks for the money. So I always ask Mama, her a password and I put it there and it installs. It's so simple.
That is funny.
So 5-year-old can install these days, you know, thank God, you know, this is the world we live in. So same way, whatever you need to install, you know, what is the process of installation? Everything you're going to write in your test case. Am I right? Any confusion you guys have, any concern, any question here, anything that you don't understand here?
So, Dhruv sir, I know you already talked in last class, but what if if it is not as expected? So we have to assume everything as expected.
Assume right now. That's right. And then when your tester gonna test your protocol, that's when he gonna see if it's everything is there or not. If it's not there, then he gonna say not as expected. But right now you have to assume that it has to be everything as expected. Yes.
Okay.
Very good. Any other question, concern you guys have?
Dhruv sir, I have a question. On
Go
the
ahead.
test objectives, just above what you're looking at right now.
Okay.
I know Krista's mentioned like the specs pretty much, but I was thinking, is it necessary? Because isn't our objective just to verify the hardware, make sure all's good, make sure all the paperwork's there? So on my objectives, I've only written like to check, document, and compare the hardware.
Yeah,
And
but if you have a specific requirements in your URS, if you have a specific hardware requirements, then you need to mention those.
okay,
Understood?
that was my question. Yep.
Yeah. You
But
got
in a,
it though.
and in a real world though, we wouldn't be doing the low risk ones. It would only be the high and medium, right?
Yeah. Right. So you see, she put all these requirements, which is part of her requirement document, a specification document. So all the hardware, she's gonna test it here. Remember, every specification you wrote in your URS and FRS needs to be tested somewhere, either in IQ or in OQ or in PQ. So here she's testing all her hardware requirements. Make sense?
Yep, makes sense.
See how these documents are connected together. That's what you're going to be, filling those dots. So that's your test objective and acceptance criteria. And if you don't have these hardware requirements in your requirement document, which is URS and FRS, still you can write these specification from user manual.
Mm-hmm.
You understand? So that will be your acceptance criteria. So what you're trying to get out of this test case. So this is your, things which you need to get out of this test case. This is what you're going to test in this test case. And that's what you need to put in your test objective and acceptance criteria. Sonika, was it your question here?
Okay, so I thought we're making IQ on the basis of design spec. So I really didn't put the URS and FRS number
you
on
misheard it. Yeah, you misheard it when I said where you're gonna make IQ from. So IQ comes from 3 places. One, design doc, which you don't have it right now, which I totally understand. Also URS, if you have hardware requirements in your URS, you're gonna pull those out as well. And then some of the requirements you can get from user manual. But the purpose is how you're gonna install. And if any of your installation requirement connect to your specification, that's what you're gonna refer it to. So, she referred it her URS numbers because this was there. That, okay, system has USB port, the higher, system has dimension, system have weight. All these requirements are part of your URS. So where are you going to test these if you're not going to test it in your IQ? You cannot test this in OQ because it's your hardware requirement. Remember, OQ is only functionality test, not the hardware test. So IQ comes in it's a very natural. IQ comes where you test your hardware requirements.
Mm-hmm.
So you need to refer those in your IQ. Yes.
Is that about Abbas? Is that
Go ahead.
Abbas?
Oh, no.
No, that's not me.
Okay, all right. So when you say hardware, do I have to mention about LCD display and its function in this one?
That's correct.
So I have I made some rough sketch. Maybe I will, if you give me permission, I want to share it with you because I have
Sure.
highlighted some of the question on it.
No problem.
That I was confused with it. So once
Send
you
it
finish
to
with-
me. If
Yeah,
you
once
give me permission, I will open it in the class.
Once you're done with this, maybe I can share that after this finish and
No
then I
problem.
can ask you. Okay.
No problem.
All right.
Avasi, do you have your draft ready too or not yet?
Yes, I have it ready.
Yeah, send it to me. Let me, look at it in the class itself, so everybody can learn a little bit more. Okay. So yeah, I understand this is your hardware and you tested hardware. Good job, Krista. But have you covered all the hardware?
Covered a lot of it.
Okay, no problem. Just think through if any hardware still needs to be covered,
Yeah.
cover it. Then it comes your assembly. So assembly, what you need to do here, you see, install a ink cartridge. So you're saying here, you're installing the ink cartridge, and above in your document, you said it comes installed. So those
So I need
two,
to, yeah.
so
you're
those
right.
two things should not contradict. Remember
right.
all this.
So
Okay.
it's those little details.
Yeah.
Which I knew that.
Yeah, but you have to put it in your document that way. So now you're going to assemble where you are assembling your, I don't see your display.
I didn't do it.
Yeah, that's the important part.
Okay.
Because in your install display itself, you're gonna put your network ID, your password, which is gonna connect with your Wi-Fi. You know, display has to be assembled and set up.
In assembly. Okay, I'll put that in there.
Okay.
So hold on. So you're talking about the LCD display? Or?
LCD display, yes.
Okay, quick question on that.
We talked about that yesterday too, didn't we?
Yeah, we did. So with the LCD display, for example, once you set up and let's say the LCD display lights up, right? So it lights up, right? So as soon as it lights up, then there will be some instruction, some prompts, like, you know, fix the date or fix the time or something
Exactly.
like
All those things you have to do it here in assembly.
So I can
that. Isn't
add
that in the
those.
software verification rather than the assembly? Because you are now connecting with the inner software. So I thought like that's supposed to be in the software verification.
No, unless you assemble the problem is unless you do that, you cannot do the test print. It becomes part of your installation.
No, I'm saying there's a part of installation, but what I'm saying is rather than on the assembly, because like you said, we have 4 sections, right? Hardware, assembly, software, and test print. So because right now we are on assembly section.
That's correct.
So what I'm saying is once the LCD and when we fix up the time and date and everything else,
yeah,
then language, everything else, isn't that supposed to be in the software, or are we putting that on the hardware? Sorry, on the assembly.
On the assembly, because that's when you think how you do it, one thing after another, you know. So unless you finish that, it will not connect to your network.
It's more like configuration, right?
Yeah, it's unless you connect that, how you going to connect with your computer, and everything has to connect in the same network.
No, my understanding was on the assembly section, you basically just assemble all the parts, like, you know, connecting the USB port from the printer to the computer, or like, you know, connecting everything else. So on the
That's
software.
good. That's good. But still you have to connect your display, because the reason is how you're going to, I mean, that allows you to connect Wi-Fi, Bluetooth.
That's where you control everything. Yeah.
Yes, which is going to control everything. There.
I knew that.
Can I say something about it?
Go ahead.
So in assembly part, can we just mention that once we connect, the LCD display will turn on, and rest of the detail like setting date and language, can we put it on the software verification?
You can. Yes, you can. Yes, that you can. Yes, that you can, no doubt. Because for connecting, see, and also you can put those in a software installation test case before you go and install your link. You can do it ahead of that too, because that has to be done. Unless you do that, it's not going to connect and communicate with your computer. Yeah, computer and everything. It has to be same network. It will download and connect everything together. That's how it works. Am I right? So what comes first, you have to put there. And then what comes later, you put in the later. I am not controlling that. But give me, the chronological way, what comes first, put it there. And then what comes second, put it there. What comes in third. You have 3 test cases majorly. So what comes in first test case? Your hardware. Am I right? Hardware verification. All your hardwares are there or not. In second, you have assembly, connecting everything together. Power, code, switch, turn it on, and then connect everything together. Now everything is connected. Now you go and install your driver. Am I right? Mm-hmm. So those 3 things comes one after another.
So I knew this too, and I was just kind of taking a shortcut because I was wanting to get it done. So, but I knew that.
No shortcut, Krista.
I know. I mean, it's my rough draft. So I did, and I talked with my group yesterday, and we did talk about like I needed to add my LCD. So
yes.
So I knew that.
Yeah. Okay, and then I see. So you did assembly. Installing ink cartridge, that is good. Take a photo, and then installing label ribbon. Yes, that's good. Take a photo. code connection, that is good. Installing printer driver, and you have combined both together.
Yeah.
Installing Wi-Fi connection. So unless you,
separate it.
and also remember, you installing your driver first and then you installing your Wi-Fi. It has to be vice versa. First Wi-Fi, then driver. Okay.
I do get things backwards every now and then.
Yeah, and then when you installing your driver, select the start, select device, double click on the add printer icon, launch and printer widget, select the option, describe the test printer, and then select next, follow with prompts. On the install the printer driver window, select Zebra and then select the printer model on the right. And after that, you have still, it has to,
yeah, I need to go vice versa.
it has few more steps. You have to click on run. You have to mention all the windows which appears when you install it.
Okay.
So I need a little bit more detail here.
So more detail on the.
So
on the
yeah,
driver.
so you cannot complete all the installation in one step. It maybe take 2-3 steps.
Okay.
And I think I asked you on our conversation one-on-one yesterday, sir. So for every step, you have to attach a screenshot, a picture.
So not every step, but the thing, remember when I was teaching you, how to write, authoring the test script. So let's go back. And it's because you guys don't pay attention. That's why those things comes into
it's like your evidence.
Yeah, where do you need to take evidence? Okay, so let's go and see screenshots. So if you go back to your workshop document, that's where it says clearly that where all you need to take a screenshot. And so pay attention to those detail when you're going through these things. And it doesn't hurt if you can go back and read through your workshop again. That helps you okay. Where was it?
I thought I'd just seen it down there.
Down there?
Oh, yeah, no, here it is. It was just telling you and not to take a screenshot.
Yeah, here.
Yep.
So Avas, pay attention here. So it says screenshots here. Include instruction to capture screenshots within proving test steps that verify requirements, emails, and reports, and for input values that will be verified used in later steps. All these situations, you take a screenshot or picture. Remember, we talked about it.
Yes.
Any confusion here?
Yeah, can you elaborate more? I mean, like what it means by
Okay. So wherever you are verifying your requirement, so that step you have to take a screenshot. So verifying a requirement means sometimes one step you have to take to verify or test your requirement, you have to take 2 steps. So you don't need step 1 print screen or picture, but where you verifying the final, where you have to show FDA that where have you completed your test. This is the proof. So in order to go there, so if you are cooking, You don't need to take picture of all the thing. You need to take a picture what you need to cook. Am I right? Or food when it comes out, because that was your requirement. Your requirement was your food has to be in a golden color. So that's where you take a screenshot. Here it is. It is my golden color. Because that was your requirement. You're proving your requirement is working, not the preparation.
The final product of your preparation.
So in this case, in the
Yes.
Zebra printer, so what will be the perfect example that the verifying the requirement? Just one
Go
example.
to your requirements. Look at where you're testing your requirement. So
Yeah.
for example, she have put here in hardware, what is my acceptance criteria, for example. And yeah, so these are the acceptance criteria. So these are the requirements. Am I right? So
Right.
where have you tested these requirement that you have to take picture or screenshot?
Okay, so that's fine. So in this project alone, so I'm asking where will be a valid point to add an attachment. So like for in this specific documents, if you can just point that out.
Everywhere you show these things. Yeah.
Okay, so that's what I'm saying. Okay.
Yeah, everywhere you show these things.
For every
But
step, right?
For every, if it's a one step, then you take a screenshot for that. Sometimes some requirement you have to take 2 steps.
So let's say
So
the
you
printer,
don't take first step screenshot. You take only second step screenshot.
so the printer has a number 7. The printer has a plastic case, or let's say metal case, a semi-plastic case.
Yeah.
For that we have to verify the requirements and have to take a screenshot of the plastic case. That's what I'm asking.
Or take a picture. Yeah. You have to prove each and every requirement. Your specification, not the preparation to get there.
Okay.
You gotta think too, because these are like legal documents too. That's what I've been doing a lot of research on with like the FDA and stuff. So I dug more deeper into it this past week.
Yes.
And they want it's just like when you go to court, you know how there's a lady that's typing on the side, like when you're in a court and she types everything that's going on in the court. That's what we're doing pretty much with like a software. Like, so when we're testing everything, we have to literally have like all the instructions, and then we have to take picture of our evidence to prove to the court, say if they were audited, well, this is what I had when I had it, so it doesn't fall on you. You know what I mean?
That's right.
I think,
Sir,
for example,
can I say something, please?
Yes, go ahead.
So in my understanding, is it like if you take the objective 2, so it says the system has a chamber to insert 4 different ink cartridges, right? So you don't go and say that take a picture of CYAN and Magnata and black different.
You have to show there is a four places of cartridge. You have to take picture of that. Because some printer comes with only 3. Some printer might come only with 2.
Yeah, but
only
you don't have to.
Only black and white. Am I right?
But if it is black and white, you don't have to take a picture of black separately and white separately.
So in your specification, you are saying that you have a color printer and it comes with 4 cartridge. So you have to show that in your printer, you have 4 cartridge space. Am I right?
Okay.
Unless you show that, that's your proof that it was for 4 cartridge. So every requirement you have to take evidence, Praman.
No, I want to say like if you mentioned that I have.
So if you take a picture of that chamber, it will say where to put black, where to put yellow, where to put magneta. All those. It says there in the code, and it shows the color. So when you take the picture, it shows, oh, you had all the chamber of 4, and then all have a different color. That's what it proves.
That's what I meant to say.
Yes, so you prove your requirement that the printer is exactly what your requirement says.
No, I want to say that I don't have to take like Magnata separate picture.
No,
I
just one
can
picture, it
include in
shows
one,
there is
right?
a four chamber. One
Okay,
picture, it
that's what
shows
I
there is
wanted
a
to know.
4 chamber. Yeah.
Okay, thank you, sir.
Uh-huh.
But can I add something? If anybody has any question, you can go ahead first because I've been asking, or I can ask question.
No, go ahead. Go ahead.
Okay.
Awasi.
Okay, so this is a hardware verification, right? For
That's
example, on the software verification or assembly verification.
That's correct.
So if you're, for example, again, if you're saying that we are setting up with the driver or a wizard, right?
Yeah.
So that's on the objective, then we have to take a screenshot of the command, the driver whole screen as well, and paste it there as well or not?
Yeah, so sometimes very good question. So if you are putting both in a same network, if that's your requirement, that
Yeah.
it has to be in the same network. So first you're going to set up the network. So you're not going to take picture of setting up the network. You understand? Even though you have a steps to setting up the network, but once the network is set up, then you take a picture of that and you say that, hey, this is the network of my printer and this is the network of my computer. So it's both in the same network. That's what you need to prove.
Okay, so Dhruv, so let me actually send you an attachment. Give 1 second. This is the one. Okay, let me just send you on this Zoom chat. This is what I'm talking about.
Okay.
Okay, so did you get that?
Yeah.
So this is what I'm saying.
Go ahead. Yes.
I have a question.
Go ahead.
Yeah, actually, instead of writing a hardware verification, software verification, or like assembly verification, can we also do, if we are going to talk about the button cartridges, can we also write like the button verification, cartridges verification, device driver verification, Wi-Fi connection verification, something like that?
Of course. Be creative, girl.
Okay, so actually I did like that, so I was
Yeah, be creative. I want to see if you want to put more work. I will like that because IQ as much detail as you can be. These are the things, yeah, you have to pay attention. So yeah, I see this. This is your license. Awasi, what you wanted to show?
So for example, I'm saying if this is an agreement on the software verification, then we need to take a screenshot of that as well. Just a plain question. Okay.
That's correct.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's pretty much it. I just wanted to
Yeah,
clear
but
myself.
as much proof as you can give is better. Less is never the better. So more is merrier always. Okay.
And add to what Abbas was saying, we're attaching that photo because it's an important part of it. Generally, we only saw whatever was on the objective sides, right? Like we don't have screenshots of everything that we take. But since that was a license, it's deemed important, we take a screenshot of it.
That's correct.
Okay, for example,
every important thing where you are testing your requirement and any report, any license, all those things you have to take a screenshot. Those are your proof. Those are your, proof you are giving to FDA when they're going to look at it. You have given enough evidence that it was done and it was done it right. Am I right? Enough proof you have to give.
Right. Okay.
Very good. Any other question, concern? Resamji.
Yes, sir.
Are you getting it, sir?
Yeah, of course. I'm listening,
Any
I
confusion,
will be like,
anything? Yeah.
Yeah, since I haven't started yet, so yeah, I'm just listening. Yeah, I think it will help a lot when I get it started.
Sure.
Yeah.
You start it, and then you're gonna find mistakes, some places here and there. Don't be worried about it. Just start, start doing it, and then you will see you will get somewhere, slowly.
Absolutely, yeah.
Yeah. After a few reviews, you're gonna get there.
Absolutely. Thank you for asking. Yeah.
Sure. And
I'm sure I'll have more questions once I know it started. Then
don't be worried.
Definitely I will be.
Don't be
Yeah, I'll
worried.
ask
I
you.
totally understand. You all gonna have questions, a lot of questions, which is why we are here. That's why you need me for now. Later on, you're gonna do it on your own. But right now, you have questions, and that's what makes me my importance. Am I right?
Yeah, thanks for your concern, though. Thanks, I appreciate that. Thank you.
Sure, SMG, sure. I'm expecting a good work from you, and you know, you are also one of my favorite, whom I am expecting, yeah, whom I'm
Thank you,
expecting
sir.
a good work. Okay, so pay
Thank you. I
attention to
appreciate it.
these
Thank you.
things, and if you have
Sure, I
questions,
will.
feel free. Yeah. Anybody
Yeah.
else?
Yeah,
Arjunji, you have.
actually, I have a question
Go
with the
ahead, Prabhas.
regression testing. I don't know if you want me to ask right now or wait
Let's
after.
finish IQ first, and
Okay.
then we'll get there. In IQ, you don't need regression testing, only in OQ.
Okay, PK, okay.
Yeah, okay, pick. Very good. Anybody else have IQ issue? Arjun sir, and how does it sound now? Tell me.
Now it looks good for me. I'll try to start after this class, and when I'll start to write something, maybe a lot of questions arise on me. Now I don't have questions because some people understand it and they have a lot of questions. But I also understand, but not in detail. So
Yeah,
right
in
now I
detail,
don't have
because you have
questions.
not started it yet. Once
Yeah.
you start, then you will have detailed question. Very good, no problem. Ravi
Thank
sir,
you.
how you are doing? Do you have questions here? Are you getting it? Are you
Yeah.
getting the hang of it? Installation
Yes.
part first.
No, basically, we with the term itself, installation qualifications. Earlier, I was talking about.
Yes.
We need to look about the electricity, Wi-Fi thing.
Everything you
And-
need in installation. Very
Exactly.
good. Very good.
So it looks much practical kind of thing. What you told us, giving the example of IKEA furniture bringing home and doing all those things.
Yes.
But
yes.
What happens in that is physically you can see what the parts, small parts are. But here you will more imagine things during the validation process. That comes from your experience while working there. So I have not started yet. So I told
No
you
problem.
earlier.
Start it today, and you guys gonna have more questions, no doubt. But think it as an installation. I'm doing installation of this label printer. What all the things I will need, and what all the activity I need to do, and start putting it in your document. I totally get it. You know, when you start first time, it seems difficult. It seems, you know, things like, oh, how I'm going to write it, how I'm going to put it together. But once you start it, it will start happening, you know. So it will start happening, and I will correct it. Again, I said, I have to go and review each of your individual document at this point, because remember, this is what going to make your validation engineering, going forward. And so this is very important part, you know, IQ, OQ, PQ, unless you do it right, you're not going to become a validation engineer. This is the minimum requirement, IQ, OQ, PQ. But don't get stressed out for that, you know, start writing and see what are the things, what are the questions you are coming up with, you know, where you are getting stuck, what you need to put, what is your creative idea, like, you know, Samiksha just asked me that, you know, sir, can I do this? And of course, she's thinking a little bit different, and which is, you know, out of the box, which is also good. You know, you can think what all the things, but remember what you're trying to do. You are trying to test your specification, and you are telling the Congress or Code of Federal Regulation or FDA, who is enforcing agency, that, hey, I have done my installation properly. Here are my steps I did, and here are my all the proof, you know, and all those things you're going to present it to the Code of Federal Regulation, you know, for the government, that, hey, you have everything done it right. Am I right? That's what you are trying to show. So with all the proof and everything. And that's what you need to write it down here. Okay. Government is interested to see, have you completed your IQ properly or not? Because if anything goes wrong in future with your system, they have to go back and check, where did you do mistake? What did you do wrong? Am I right? So that's what it is. So first thing first, your installation. Have you done your installation right or not? That is the most important part. Ayush. Ayush.
I don't think he's here.
Okay, okay.
Sir, so can we include like we got with the printer like a warranty card? Like, can we include that?
Very good. That's a smart thinking, girl. You're thinking out of the box. So that is your verification. Your warranty card is
Yeah.
part of your verification.
So warranty, we can make like separate, like we can make like printer utilities or something like that, and it,
That's
we can
correct. That's
user
correct.
manual.
User
and
manual, warranty card. Very good. Very smart thinking. See, now you are thinking.
Mm.
Brain with beauty. I like that. I like that. That's how you need to think. What are all the things I need in my installation? What are all the things I need to verify? Am I right? And that's when your IQ will be completed. I'm not giving you one answer because the reason is tomorrow you're going to have to go in the real world and write IQ for different system. You're not going to write IQ only for level printer. So if you know how to think, if you have the pattern of thinking, you will know how to think, what to think. Am I right? And that's the whole purpose. So this is your IQ. Very good job, Krista Yadav. You have done fabulous job. And
You really think so? Is it bad? Was
no,
it better
it's a
than you
good
expected?
job. It's a good
I know
job.
I still got a lot
Krista.
of stuff to do, but
Yeah, you still have things to do, but you have started very good, and it looks good so far. I give you good credit, and I see here you have references, you have revision history, and everything looks good. Good job.
thank you.
Yeah. Okay. So did anybody send me other document?
I'm waiting for Sonika though.
Sonika? Are you sending me the document, Sonika?
Can I just share my screen if you don't mind?
Sure, go ahead. Be my guest.
Can we take like a 5-minute break?
Oh, sure. Let's take a 5 minutes break. Everybody wants to break? Let's take a break.
I'm sorry, y'all.
No, that's fine. Yeah. So let's get back in, it's 9:43 here, so 9:50. You got 7 minutes to finish your cigarette. All right, see you guys. Yeah, hold on there, Sonika. Okay.
Okay, I'll just
रवि सर कत नेपाल से फोन आयल छलै
सऊदी अरेबिया में वो हमर गामक जे मंदिर बनल के
जी जी
ओकर बाप जे है हमर घर में काम करत रहले
ओहो
तो अब देखो माई के कृपा वो लॉकडाउन के टाइम में हम मिस्त्री खोज के परेशान रहली
हाँ हाँ
ई छौड़ा आ गेले कहाँ से सऊदी अरेबिया से वो घुराल के वजह से तो वही टाइम में जे कल के मालिक अहाँ के कोनो नहीं मिले हम कह देवे कथी कैले तो बनाए वाला काम कैले छी कि नहीं नहीं ईटा ढोइत रहली सऊदी अरेबिया में कथी करबे कुछ तो पढ़ले नहीं छी तब फिर हम जे है घर में यूट्यूब देखी ओकरा बेटा के 9-10 बरिस के बेटा सब है ओकरा वो यूट्यूब में पारंगत है गामक मुसहर सब देखो सऊदी बेटा के भेजी हम अब बेटा जे है बाप के समझावे हो यूट्यूब देख के
एना करे के है
केना के सर्कल बनावे के केना के करे के है दोसर बिहान वो अते मंदिर बनावे साइट में तब वो हम ओकरा जरे डिस्कस करी अब वो घुमाए परफेक्ट बन गेले
very good
Saudi Arabia se
Drusha, I have a quick question.
Please.
So on the OQs, so for example, on the IQs test one, I'm planning to do it, hardware verification. So on the OQs, my test one, for example, if I work on the business workflow, I'm gonna write down the acceptance criteria first, do the verification, test two security, write acceptance criteria, or do I mention everything on like one acceptance criteria?
No, you're gonna have more than one test cases.
For sure. Yeah. Right.
So every category you have in your FRS, that many test cases you can write.
Right. And that many acceptance criteria, like separate criteria.
That's correct.
Okay,
that's
sounds
correct. That's correct. Very good.
Sir, and also too, like I didn't want to confuse the class because I know that in the last class too, when you're teaching the IQ, like how to write it, on my software and the assembly, I didn't write the URS beside it, but you need to write that in the priority level, right? On each one, right?
Yeah. So installation, you don't have as such installation requirement.
Right.
You have hardware requirement in your specs, but you don't have installation requirement. Am I right?
Right.
So then you don't need to write it in your objective and in acceptance criteria. Yet you can write it that your acceptance criteria is successful installation of software.
Okay.
You understand?
Okay. Yeah, I understand. I was just making sure.
Yeah. But really, I liked your, dress up in sari, wearing all the Nepali jewelry, and wow. So
yeah,
nice.
Thank you. So we have, because I'm around a lot of Nepalese people. I have a little Nepalese community at my house.
Oh,
so my friend, she was like, what are you doing Wednesday? You need to get a top because I'm going to put you in a sari. And I was like, okay. And then she had stuff. She brought out the little jewel for my head. And then she brought out the necklace.
I like that TikTok where you're like acting like a Nepalese woman.
Oh, Krista, you're on TikTok. I expected better. Come on now.
That was hilarious. Yeah.
Yeah, we had a lot of TikTok shows here on Wednesday. And we were dancing. I tried to dance, but it's hard because I don't understand. If I understood what the words were, then I think I could get the movement at the same time. But my movements are always like after it's said because I'm following someone else.
Yeah, and besides, the Nepalese dance is very unique. It's so different. Yeah, it's so different. It's not a regular dance. You have to catch that moves, unless you catch that moves. And for us, we brought up with that moves and, that dance. So it really gave us a lot of pleasure to watch.
Yeah, it was nice. We had so much fun.
Yeah. Okay, Prajita. How you doing, girl?
Good.
When are you coming to California?
I am in California.
Really? When did you come?
I think September 2nd or 3rd.
Oh my
Before
God.
Labor Day weekend, yeah.
Oh, I didn't talk to your uncle yet.
Yeah.
So I didn't know. I mean, you're here, girl. Come over, or I'll come over. We'll meet up. Okay.
Sure.
Welcome to Cali.
Thank you.
Yes. Yes.
It's good here. The weather is better than Texas.
That's true.
Oh, for sure.
That's true. That's true. Yes. Yes. Okay, Sonika, go ahead and I hope everybody is here. I gave 9:50, but it's 9:56. Can't keep on waiting. So yeah, go ahead, share your question. Okay, so what is your question? You're on mute. Beautiful.
So the highlighted part in this education prep, do I have to mention that to the software verification or in here? Can I do that here?
Yeah.
Like the user account should set up prior to execute the test script.
That's correct. That's your
So I
generic.
can put it here, right?
Yeah, you can put it here.
Okay.
Because it's a generic.
So
Yeah.
the number 5 is about wording. I don't know if I have to say like the tester has to be.
Tester has to be trained. Not,
So I can't
not
say,
on the contrary, trained person should be available to perform the test.
Okay.
I mean, you can, yeah, anybody can test, but you have to train them.
Okay. And so the number 13, do I have to put that in software verification?
That's very smart, girl. Very, very smart. Yes. You're thinking right. In order to install in your computer, you have to have an admin right.
So, I mean, does it has to be in this part or do I have to put that on the software verification part? That
Either
would-
one, no problem.
It doesn't matter.
Doesn't matter.
Okay.
So usually what it is first here in your test execution preparation, you put all the generic.
Mhm.
And then in test case level, you go and put a specific for that test case only. What do you need? So if general, say, tester has to be trained, it applies to all your test cases. Am I right?
Mhm.
So you can put it here, but you need a link. Am I right? So link you don't need for every test cases. You only need for test case 3. So you put that one in your test case 3. So whatever is a specific, you put it for that test case. Whatever is generic, you put it up here, which applies to all the test cases. Is that clear?
Yes, yes,
Okay, very good. Anything else you want to show?
yes.
Looks good. So you have done some work, girl. Good.
I tried.
Yes, very good. Yeah.
So this is what I'm saying. Like I mentioned the first one and it doesn't have URS FRS. And this one, all of them are like low risk priority. So do I have to mention that in here?
I mean, if you don't mention it, that's fine.
Okay.
As a reviewer, I understand all the hardware is low priority anyway.
Okay.
Risk priority. Yeah. Why you say snapshot?
Oh, okay. It's not appropriate word.
No, for hardware, you have to take a picture. You cannot take a snapshot.
Oh yeah, okay. I got it.
And for software, you have to take a screenshot.
And I was thinking, taking that in YouTube. That was in my mind, so that's why.
That's okay.
Yeah, sorry.
That's okay, no problem. So yeah, it looks good. I'm so proud. You have
So,
started
okay.
very good work.
Thank you. And I have a question about putting things together in test objective and in instruction part.
Mhm.
Like, I think these are okay. It's more like hardware, but okay. So I have a question about this wording too. Do I have to mention the functional button on this assembly
No,
verification?
as
No,
long
right?
as you put power button and functional button, the power, functional buttons and indicators light of the label printed is functional. So
I think it comes more on maybe OQ.
that's correct. So functional thing, you put it in OQ, but hardware, the solid buttons, you test it here.
Okay.
Yeah.
I have related question. Okay, so here I combine two things in same one, like power turn on
That's
and
good.
indicator light. Because for me it's the same thing. Like when you turn on, the light should be green. So I put it together. I do not know if we can do that.
That's fine. You can do that.
All right.
Yeah.
So in LCD part, like I say, just say
I
the
saw that.
LCD
Yeah.
turn
Yeah.
on.
Turn on. But is this your
Oh.
assembly? So in assembly, now you have to set up your LCD.
Yeah, so I was thinking to put that on. I haven't done that part yet, but
No
I was
problem.
thinking to do that in there.
Yeah. Add it those. Yeah.
So we have to, I saw that in Krista's IQ, because I was not sure if we have to do this detail in
Mhm.
instruction part. So it seems like it's okay, right? We have to.
Yes. Yes. As much detail as you can give. No problem.
This looks good, Sonica.
Thank
you.
It's like, yeah, it looks better than mine.
I know she have done good job. Yeah. I don't
did
know why she
good.
was hesitant. Yeah.
Yeah.
Good job. She's smart. I knew it.
So other stuff
Both the
is,
sisters are smart.
Mhm.
Wi-Fi connection.
Yeah, this looks good.
So these two are fine.
Yeah, totally fine.
Okay.
And I'll go in detail again, some word here and there.
Okay.
I will fix it, not in the class, but so far it looks good.
All right. I think that's all for now.
Yeah, yeah.
All right.
The more detail, remember, I will, do individual review for each of your document. I have to do it, and I must do it unless it looks good, you are confident, you understand what you are doing, and so then I don't need to pay too much attention. But if not, then I will pay attention to make it right. Remember, these things nobody gonna teach you when you are in real world. Right now you have opportunity to learn from me. If any mistakes you do, how you can, any doubt you have, in real world, they're gonna pull your leg. Everybody pulls their legs. There is no such thing like a friend in corporate world. There is no friends. Everybody is competitor. Everybody wants to go ahead of you. So, if you stay down, then he can be a lead, or she can be a manager. You will see how competitive world it is. If Krista is in your team, forget about it. She's not going to let you become lead.
I don't know.
She's gonna become the lead right away.
I don't want to come and leave right away. I know that.
So it's a very competitive world out there as well. So this is the right time and opportunity for you guys to have that clarity and understanding of these, especially IQ, OQ, PQ is very, very important. And nobody will like to teach you there when you are in job. So, you're going to find people from all over the world, people from India, mostly from India, Pakistan, here, Asians, also some white people is you can find here and there.
Far in between.
But yeah, but somehow they makes it to manager level always. But sorry, I don't mean to offend anybody, guys. Sometimes I make jokes and I don't mean to hurt anybody's feelings. So forgive me if I does anytime. My point is I want to have it, easy, light class where you don't get too serious, otherwise, if you get too serious, you're not going to get it. It's like you have to be playful. You have to be in your light mind to understand and grasp these things. Okay. So, okay. Any question, concern? So you saw a couple of IQ written. Now you guys, most of you guys have not started it yet. So my suggestion is just go and start. Read through your template many times. Understand what you're trying to do. Go to your, workshop. Revise that. Go to your videos and listen to one more time that you might have missed something. The brain doesn't tend to take 100% thing at a time. So if you repeat it, then your brain will take another thing as well. It adds up. So revising it, repeating it, your brain gets comfortable. Your brain gets expanded. Remember, it's expansion every time. So going through this second time, third time, your brain will expand and adapt it. And that's the process we have to do, and you need a lot of belief in yourself that, hey, you can do it. Why not? If anybody can do it, I can do it. Come on, this is not something you're born with that brain. It's just your brain was not used for that purpose yet. That's why you think it's difficult. But once you start doing that, you will be surprised. My 80 years, 75, 80 years old people never used computer. Now they are doing good in villages. How did they do it? My father-in-law never used computer in his life. Now he's chatting all the time with his daughter, which I don't like so much. But he learned how to use the technology. Am I right? So we all can expand our brain, expand our thoughts, expand our knowledge. It's always option there. There is no limitation of that. Yes, Ravi sir, you wanted to say something? Oh, Sonika.
No, I just wanted to make sure your doors are closed there. You only... I don't want to see someone running after you.
I know. Tell me about it. Oh, so now you don't like my dad talking to me? Yes, Sonika, tell me.
Yeah, so at the end of this class, do we get exposure to real devices? Just to get an idea, like.
So the answer is it's very difficult to expose you with the real devices, because real devices, see, I cannot afford to buy it. And but I'm going to walk you guys through with various systems, give you some brief overviews and make you ready. But you're going to get real devices in real world. But once you get inside, and of course, there, when you are in real time, if you have some questions, concern, I'll be still here to help you guys, support you guys, go get through it. It only takes a little bit. I tell you one thing, 95% my students 98% of my students are doing so fine at work because the process I walk them through, they're not falling. None of my students is falling or failing. They are doing just fine. But of course, you have some questions, some concerns, some doubts, and I'll be there. I'll support you. Again, your success is my success. Without you, I cannot exist. So make sure that I will be there to help you guys. Yes,
Second, seconding the question of Sonika, I was in fact thinking of the same thing what she was thinking, because those who we are closer to you in Northern California here, around at least 5-6 of people having at least one weekend or one Saturday somewhere sitting and then doing this thing literally physically in front of you, and you guiding us through those things for
sure. Usually
I will agree with Ravi, sir.
Very good.
Kind of boot camp for 4 or 5 hours, sharing our food, having fun, what we are having here.
No problem.
That will give us more way to understand the thing, and our understanding. 5 people understanding this make it easier for other 17 people to understand those same things.
Totally.
I really like
Ravi,
what
sir,
Sonika
I
said.
am up for it. And whenever you guys decide, I am on. I always love to hang out with my students. So, I enjoy drinking some wine. So, in the course of studying, if I'm drunk, forgive me for that. But yes, 100%.
I know you will be happier if Krista flies in with the bottle of wine.
Yeah, Krista is already here. Krista is in California, and she loves our gatherings. She loves our
but there's so much
fun. So every class, in the end, we do gather anyway at one time. But even if you guys plan to come before that, I'm more than happy. I would love to do that. So you can come to my place, or if you guys can decide to put it somebody else's place, also fine. Either way, I'm totally fine. And we can do potluck, eat some food and interact more. That way it will give you guys more kind of confidence, face-to-face conversation and all good stuff. So totally agree.
Remember, I told you earlier, we are from
Sonika will fly. Sonika will fly.
It won't be fair for me.
You gotta come though.
I mean, I can join you virtually with a glass of wine. I don't mind doing that.
Yeah, we can do virtually, no problem as well. One of my students flew from New York, Asmita. Asmita, last time when we had a gathering at my place, she literally flew from there, came to California, and she came to my home, and we had so much fun. Well, one of our students knew how to make cocktails. So he was making very good cocktails, and everybody got drunk enjoying.
Yeah, you have to come in, Sonika. Me and Amit, we flew in from Colorado before I moved to California.
Yeah, they flew from, I remember, Krista, how you guys flew from Colorado. They stayed with us 1 night, 2 nights, and we had so much fun together. So yes, see, the thing is, that interaction is also important. That will give you guys a lot of confidence and, face-to-face thing, and, totally agree for that. We will miss some of the people like Samiksha, if she, her Hawaii is canceled anyway, so California is not so bad. We have beaches. So yeah, totally. Let's do that whenever you guys ready. I'm totally up. Let's have that boot camp, 3 hours, 4 hours marathon, going through questions, answers, everything, each and every minute detail. I'm ready. I'm up for it.
That'd be nice.
Yeah, I'm totally up for it.
We can do
I
that
don't
in
mind.
Boston too. We can do in the Boston also.
Yeah, I mean, we can go all together at Boston,
Everybody's close together. They should all come together, and then we should.
But the problem, Samiksha's problem is, for Boston, we have to buy 15 tickets. California, you have to buy only one ticket. Am I right?
Cummings has gonna charter us a plane.
So yeah, why not? So yeah, Ravi sir, totally up for it. Let's
Thank
talk
you.
about it. And whenever you guys are ready, I'm ready.
Thank you.
Okay. Anything else?
Because
I
the reason for that is I told you earlier also, we are from a generation that we need a letter to read through to cry. We don't
That's
get
true.
emotional with the emails and all those visual stuff what we see there.
That's true.
Physically, we have to see something, then it makes us more,
That's
what
true.
we can-
And I always prefer to meet all my students at least one time face to face. It gives me, see, the thing is, you have to understand one thing. I get connected to each of my students very deeply. You cannot understand what is this relation is. This relation is, it goes much deeper than your family even.
I know.
Because looking at you guys, and you're gonna make your life tomorrow, and you're gonna succeed, and you're gonna make good money, good life. It gives immense pleasure in somebody's heart, and
That's the quality
my
of a teacher.
yes, and that's my heart. It feels a lot of joy. Always it comes with price, but still there is hurt which gets so much pleasure to feel that way, that hey, you guys succeeded through this process and you have a good job. Some of my students used to come, and even comes these days, and today one of my students got job on Friday, Ahmed, and he decided to come to meet me today at my home, even though he came before. So he was all emotional and say, hey, don't be worried, man, it's okay. I mean, it's totally, fine, and we get sometimes that emotions, and, and we express that emotions because, it's transformation, it's life changing. You're going to become somebody else, what you have never been. And you're going to make money. You're going to make your life. You're going to make your career, long career. It's a huge career where you can retire. You don't need to do anything else if you are a good validation engineer. That's it. You can choose to work 6 months. You can choose to work 9 months a year. You can work from now. You can work from anywhere. Go to Hawaii and work from there. Go to Nepal, work from Kathmandu. Those are the things now you have in your hand in this field. So it's all good stuff, but first job is always difficult. Once you get into the industry, put your feet inside, you are done forever. You never have to look back in your life for money, for job. Both is secured here. It's a recession proof industry. It has a lot of money. These guys makes money, a lot of money. So a lot of money to be made in this industry. So yeah, that's good stuff. Yeah, and so I'm very much open, and whenever you guys decide, I'm ready. Let's start from the morning. One of these Saturday, let's gather together, come over around 11, and we can finish it by 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock, until everybody is drunk. I'll make sure. Am I right, Krista?
We'll drink some good wine.
Yes, sure. Some nice Napa wine. Yeah.
Yes.
Yes. Okay. Any other thoughts, any other question? So right now what I see, most of you have not started the document.
Yeah.
So you don't have specific questions, but you saw a couple of examples which will give you a strength and encourage you to go ahead and start your document and start working on it, start understanding it. This is it. IQ, OQ, PQ, once you pass this gate, you are almost done, almost. But these 3 documents, writing and execution, these 2 things are very, very important. So you are in a very important time of this class. So don't get deviated, don't lose hope, don't lose focus. Focus back again. Put your focus on your course. What do you need to do here? What is that you're not understanding? And if you cannot express it in your class, that's totally fine. Call me, message me, Dhruv sir, I want to talk to you. And, we can talk one-to-one as well. So, don't be worried about those things. It's time for you to learn something. And so don't hesitate, don't hesitate at all. I mean, sometimes I can't talk to you right away, but then I will call you or I'll talk to you later. I make sure that, I have your attention or you have my attention. So totally, fair game here. Okay. Like, Abbas, I liked it. He messaged me, Dhruv sir, I want to talk to you. Can we talk around 5? And it was perfect. Then he called me at 5. I could not talk to him 5, but then I called him back at 6 and then we talked. So this is how we're going to do it. And if you have any question, feel free, and nothing to be worried about. It's time for you to rise above, expand your brain, expand your thoughts, and get it done. You can do it. You have to believe in yourself. Bring that confidence in you. You're going to do it. You have to do it. There is no choice. There is no choice going back. Going back is not an option here. You understand? It's only going forward.
I thought you would charge us for those extra classes. I didn't know until yesterday when I talked to Abbas.
Which extra classes?
I mean, except this regular classes.
No.
I didn't know until yesterday.
She asked me like if I paid for the call.
No, Sonika. No, that's not true. You can always talk to me. It's all included.
No, you have to pay per hour $85.
Even though, it's irony that in this corporate world, everything is time bound, and, people count, money on how many hours I have worked. So for example, if I'm working for some company, it's hour by hour. So every hour is money value. So if I take a second job, I still make, that hour worth of money, but it doesn't work that way in a way of setting here, because see, this is kind of hybrid thing. I don't mind if you guys succeed. It's not only about my time, it's about how you're going to succeed, and that is more important. And I'm very much open for that. Totally. It's like some people does it, otherwise. I have seen a lot of examples, a lot of students comes through, take it, and then when time comes to give, they change their mind, and it happens. And I can only teach you validation. I cannot teach you how to be a good human, how to be a genuine human who build up their trust network and things like that. And it over the period, you're gonna show who you are, so you don't have to be otherwise. But totally fair, totally fine. Some students, some people, even if I put a lot of effort, they made their life. I have seen some students who was cook, and now he's making 140K, and he never talked to me, and I'm fine with that, because it's totally fair. He made his life, and when he needed the most, he used to come to my home. He even slept at my home so many nights because he had to learn a lot. But then he changed, and that's okay. That's okay for me too, because I am into the business when I cannot hold any grudges on any individual. You all are even though I say you are my favorite, he's my favorite, sometimes you make some place in my heart differently, because you are learner, you are good learner, then it excites me towards you. But even if you're not, you all are my favorite, totally 100%. I don't do favoritism based on anything. It happened to my class, one of the time when one of the Janakpur guy, Anil Sa, he got the job first from the class. So some of the students say, oh, he got the job because he's from Janakpur and Dhruv sir must have favored him. But tell you the truth, I don't favor anybody. You deserve and you get it. You go ahead and you get it. But you have to deserve it. And how you're going to deserve it, that's what I need to work for. And you all have it. You all have it. You all are gonna sign differently. I have seen people changing and changing their lives. And I always talk about one joke which was very hilarious. So I had one student, I asked him, hey, do you have girlfriend? No, sir, no girls are giving me a space. I said, okay, don't be worried. Once you become validation engineer, you will get the girlfriend. And it happened. He got the job. And then all of a sudden he came to my home with 2 girls. So I said, hey, what happened? you had no girlfriend. So he said, sir, since I got the job, I started getting some attention.
Oh my goodness.
So, things change in no time, and you all gonna do good. And I'm here for you
Yeah,
guys.
hope he does good validation on them.
Shame on you, Robbie.
Yeah. So those things are happening, and I don't mean only I don't mean only guys can make 2 girlfriends. Girls can make 2 boyfriends too. It's okay. But yeah, things change, and you all gonna do good. Don't be worried. Right now you have lack of confidence, lack of experience, and you all gonna be hesitant a little bit, but slowly this will build up. So stay focused, do your homework, pay attention. If you're confused, talk to me, talk to your teammates, get into discussion, and brainstorm enough to come up with, right questions. And I'm here to answer your questions. And that's how we're going to conquer. All of you going to conquer this. No big deal. Yes, Ravi sir.
Now, on a serious note, what you said is very correct. In human resource terms, also being a student of human resource for many years and communication, in fact, it is said you can teach somebody skill, hard skill.
Yes.
But you cannot teach somebody a soft skill.
That's true.
But
that's true.
Someone who is built in with the soft skill, yes, and he has a knowledge of hard skill, some knowledge of hard skill, there is a chance of success of 100%.
Totally, 100%.
So what you are saying, yes, is you can teach somebody the hard skill of how to do and all that, and he goes to the work and keeps himself, yes, and does not use his soft skill, like what you are saying, going ahead, mingling with people, making connection, respecting the people, yes, treating everybody fairly.
Totally.
Comes from within, right?
Exactly. Yeah. Communication. Mostly, if you communicate, yeah, with somebody properly, half of your problem will be gone.
Totally.
So that's the soft skill. You are very right. Yeah, I really admire what
and
you say.
Success is not only about how much money you're gonna make.
Exactly.
Understand that.
Yep.
Success is how much friends you make, how many, how you connected, what a human you are, who you are, it defines a lot. Money is important part in a world, but not the only money, who you are, how you needs to be remembered, how you needs to be recognized.
Yep.
That is very, very important part in your life. That gives you more satisfaction in your heart, in your success life. Success means all together, not only how to make more money. So that I always encourage to my students, to be a better human, be a good human. So it will give you pleasure of so many other aspects of life, and it is very important. It's very important. So
Group sir.
Yeah.
So I have confusion on PQ also. Like I came to know about the IQ and I got some ideas about OQ. Like we can include business requirements, some of the security.
That's
But
correct.
I have confusion on PQ. Can you describe that?
Yes, sure. Very good question, Sonisha. So PQ, if you have performance requirement in your specification, so then you're going to write PQ on those performance requirements. If you don't have, still you're going to write performance requirement test case or performance requirement script, which is going to include, how you're going to stress your system. Like, you have 15 users at a time from different locations. You're going to test those things, that how you can stress your system to perform in adverse event, in stress event, stress situation. And so those are the performance tests you need to come up with. And, do your good, and you will see so many examples, and then we can talk about it. But focus on your IQ first. Finish your IQ, then focus on OQ, and then focus on PQ. So go step by step. Right now, just don't jump on all three at a time. So first thing first, IQ. You need to install first your system.
So I have almost completed my IQ. So
Okay.
now I have to do the OQ and PQ.
Very good. So
So
in OQ, you're gonna test your. Hold on, see, I saw your hand. So in your OQ, you're gonna test your functionalities, all your FRS, and then in your PQ, you're gonna have to test your URS and stress your system, stress your parameters, max, min, minimum parameters. Like if your printer can print 1,000 copy at a time, test it. Test the 1,000 copy if it does it or not. So you're testing your max and your mean, all ranges, 2-3 ranges if it prints or not. So kind of you're stressing. Performance means you're stressing your system. And those are the requirements. If you don't have in your specs, it's totally fine, because you guys were writing first time your URS FRS, but you still can come up with your scenarios where you can stress your system going forward. So we'll talk about it also in next class. No problem. No problem. Very good question. Avasji, yes, your turn, please.
Yeah, I think you answered the question, but again, I want to clarify one more time. So on the PQ, we are only challenging the nominal specification. On the OQ, we're doing both max and min.
So in your OQ, if in your functionality, if it is specified, then those specifications you have to test in your OQ. But stressing the system scenarios, you can come up with even if you don't have in your specification. Is that make sense?
Yes.
Yes.
And the question with the regression testing is, because you said to have both positive and negative for both medium and high, right?
Yeah. So let's talk about it. So in your OQ, you're gonna do regression testing for the requirements or for the specification which have high risk priority. Remember, high or medium. Those you're going to do rigorous testing. Rigorous testing means you have to do positive and negative, both tests. So, positive, okay, it takes password, alphanumeric password, but try also put some special character, see if it does take or not. So you have to do various tests in order to make sure that it takes only password which is specified in our specification. Am I right? So something like that. So every requirement you can see if it has a possibility of doing negative testing or not, which is in your RRA, in your risk have a high and medium priority. Understood?
So sir, but what I'm saying is, let's say, for example, even an IQ, for example, right?
Yeah.
So the last step is the test print, right? So if we are printing, we are doing the test printing. So for example, if we're doing the regression testing for that, So the positive will be the 1000 copy has been printed.
So no, test print in your IQ is just one copy.
Just one copy. Okay, let's say
Just
one copy
one.
has been printed successfully, right?
Yes, that
negative-
means your installation is complete.
Complete. So negative will be the copy didn't print it.
Yes.
Right. Okay.
Negative will be copy didn't print it. So that is your outcome, but that's not your test. So you go to OQ now. And if that requirement is high or medium risk priority, then you're going to do negative testing for that. So for example, your max is 1000 and your mean is 0. Try to put 0 and see if it prints or not.
So
if
that's
if it prints, that means it failed.
I don't understand. Can you repeat one more time?
Okay. So you in your IQ, you're not doing negative testing.
Yes.
Okay. In your IQ, only you're doing positive testing and you're just making sure that your installation is complete. Now it's ready to print. Okay. Now you go to your OQ. Now in OQ, you test negative testing. So if that requirement have a high or medium priority, then you test negative testing. So if it says 1000, then also try 0. And if you see if it prints, that means your test failed. It's not supposed to print if you put 0. Am I right?
Yes.
So that's your negative testing. If you put 0 and your expected result is, it should not print. It should give pop-up message that, you have a 0 number of copy to print.
Can I actually go with one real, the example from my RRA?
Sure.
So let's do the OQ for that because it's a FRS and the FRS is the OQ, right?
Yes.
Okay. So for example, let's take one. For example, let's say the system will only authorize a user with a valid credential.
That's correct.
Severity high, probability medium, detectability medium, risk priority is medium.
Okay.
On this case, okay.
Okay.
So if we're doing the OQ on that.
Yes. So now you have to test negative testing. So what you're going to do is in your test preparation, you're going to have 1 right credentials and 2 wrong credentials or 1 wrong credentials. And you try with both. For right credentials, it will allow you to log in. With your wrong credentials, it's not supposed to let you log in.
And that's the expected result.
That's your expected result. Yes,
right? Yes,
that's your expected result. Your negative outcome is your expected result.
So let's say, okay, so it logs in, that's the expected result we write on the 1 bullet point, and on the negative, we'll say it doesn't unless, the system allows the user to log in. That's
correct.
That's a negative.
That's correct.
But that's not something we are actually testing on the real life. For this, we are just expecting, we are just assuming, right? So
not assuming, you're going to test in real world.
No, for this project, I'm saying, for this assignment.
For this assignment,
yeah.
Yes. So yeah, for this assignment, you're going to assume. It's a learning thing. So it's not real thing. So some things you have to assume.
So for every URS and FRS, for OQ and PQ, we have to do the regression testing, both positive and negative.
Not every FRS. Only the high and medium priority risk.
Yeah,
priority.
so I'm saying only the high and the medium.
That's correct.
Because on the last class you said try to have most of your RRA high and medium, because you requested us to change the load to the high and medium.
That's
so
correct.
I think we have most of our RRA as a high and medium. So if we have a 50, then it's going to be 100. For example, if there was a 50 RRA in our in our templates, then it's going to be 100 because we are doing the positive and negative for everything.
Yeah. So 2 things here. So welcome to validation engineering. It's a tedious work and it's a time consuming, and that's what keep us in job forever. One thing. Second thing, not every requirement is possible to have a negative test. So first you have to determine, does this requirement can have a negative test or not? So that's the thinking you have to do. And if it does, then you do it. You write it down. Okay.
And in the case of the negative testing, for example, if the outcome is negative, for example, I'm talking in real life. If the outcome is negative and we tested and let's say it didn't happen or it didn't print it out. So do we have to write an extra step how we are going to overcome that negative testing, or how we're gonna know? We don't have to do that.
No, just pass and fail, and that will be taken care. If it fails, that will be taken care in discrepancy, which I will teach you next class.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, so it has to go through discrepancy process, which we will talk. You just pass and fail here. You don't put extra what you will do after if it fail. You don't need to talk about that in your script.
And those are one very basic question, very basic
Please,
question.
please.
Maybe I missed that out, but when you said all the FRS needs to be, the OQ needs to have FRS, and
that's
URS has to have the PQ is included in the FRS. Why is that? I mean, like, was there a specific reason, or this is just like a specific?
No, it's a generic standard. You know, it's an industry standard. Industry standard is your design needs to be tested in IQ. Your functional or system requirements specification needs to be tested in your OQ, and your URS needs to be tested in your PQ. You know, end-to-end test. It has to cover in end-to-end test. This is industry standard, but you know, it can differ a little bit here and there. So that's not the point. The point is wherever you have to test each and every specification, no matter what. Where have you tested it? You give the traceability matrix, you write it down, and you're good to go. But that is kind of rule of thumb.
So that's what I'm saying. We don't have, like, tomorrow, if we have the interview session, then we don't have to give them a reason why we're doing the FQ only for ORS. Sorry.
That's the industry standard.
That's the industry standard.
Industry standard, yeah.
Dhruv sir.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you said all the installation process will come under IQ, right?
That's right.
So for the difference, we have to take the FRS or URS in the IQ.
So remember what I said, that IQ can be combination of your URS, FRS, design, and user manual.
Okay.
It can come from all those 4 sources. So if you have hardware requirements, which comes to your IQ, you don't need to test it in your OQ, even if it's part of your URS. So, you know, URS supposed to be tested in PQ, am I right? In an industry standard, which I just said, but hardware requirements can be tested in your IQ. So that's how it works.
So as the difference, we can take both URS or FRS, it doesn't matter, right?
Doesn't matter, yes. Very good.
I have a quick question.
Please.
For regression testing, I think the classes before, I thought you said only the high priority needs multiple testing. Like
I included medium as well.
Oh, you did medium too, okay.
Yes.
Okay.
Let's do it, you know, learn it.
Right.
More you do, better you're gonna have confidence after the class.
Okay.
So in real life, we don't have to do, right? I mean, real world.
In real world, high is required, medium is recommended, low is not required.
Okay.
And Dhruv sir, I have one question.
Please.
Even though the purpose and the scope, you have already included that on the template for this Zebra printer.
Yes.
But again, I'm talking again in the like in the real life.
Uh-huh.
So what I understood on my own research is on for the IQ, the purpose and scope is like there's a specific thing, like, you know, the template structure for the IQ.
That's
for the PQ and the OQ, it will be different compared to the IQ, but the purpose and scope will be the same for the PQ and the OQ, right?
That's correct. It's the same template, yeah. And
We don't have to
also,
change.
if you have to write UAT sometimes, also it's the same template. So IQ is different template, OQ, PQ, and UAT is one template. But you have to reword it. You know, if you're writing UAT instead of OQ and PQ, you're gonna say it's a UAT.
Okay.
Okay.
And for the expected result, both for IQ, OQ, and PQ, everything in present tense.
Yeah, write it in present tense. That's a new, you know, fashion, new standard.
Because we're
And-
expecting that, so it should be in the future, or like that's the only question. Because we're expecting the result, right? So that
Yeah, but you're writing for the tester who will be testing that.
Testing it,
So
okay.
when he will be testing, he will need to read that in the present tense, that it's happening right now.
Okay.
Okay.
Thank you.
Sure. Very good. Very good questions.
Dhruv sir, so for like the regression testing,
Mhm.
if a test script has 2 outcomes, you just make a subheading and then put it under the same thing.
Yeah, you can do that.
Okay.
Yeah, you can do that. Very good. Anything from our friends here? I have some Chintamani sir, Puspa sir. Do you guys have any question, concern? Feel free. Don't be worried about it. Ishwarji, are you okay? Any question, concern?
Yeah, I'm okay so far.
Yeah. I encourage you guys to speak up, because when you speak up, again, you're using those validation word. It's your mantra. That means you're going to speak that language soon. So everything is devised that way. So talk to me, speak up in front of the class, even if it's broken question, no problem. I'll correct you. Resemji?
Yeah, I wanted to ask one quick question.
Please.
I'm a little bit confused about the regression test. Regression means like in the highest, for example, let's say for reference, 1,000 copy the capacity of the printing, right? So how to take a regression test for that? Put 1,000, that's the highest level, the ceiling level is high, the 1,000
Yeah,
copies,
so
right?
there is
Is
various
that the
ways.
regression one?
Yeah, there is a various way you can regress the test. So, now you have 1,000 copy, it's supposed to have a capability to print, which says in your specification. Now you take 3-4 numbers, try 1,000 if it prints or not, try 100, try 500, try 0. So you gave 4 scenarios to regress that functionality. And if all passes, then it's passed. So you're kind of testing from all aspects that if it's going to work exactly what it says in your specification, not otherwise, because in future you don't know. Once you say, for example, you tested 100 copy, it passed, but you have never tested 1,000 copy. What if in a real world it's not going to print 1,000 copy?
Correct, yeah.
Am I right? So that's how you regress your test, to see all kind of scenarios, if it works or not, just to make sure that it's working perfectly. Okay. And regress you do only if it has a high or medium risk priority. So that means you need to test it, different numbers, different scenarios, just to make sure that it is working as it expected.
Oh, basically we don't do for the low priority.
Low priority, no need.
Risk.
Yeah. Low priority, no need.
Oh,
yeah.
Unless it is at least medium one, right?
Yeah,
not
medium and
medium.
high. Yeah, medium and high included. Yeah.
Oh, okay, got it. Thanks for your answer. Thank you.
Sure. Girjaji?
I feel good after this session.
Okay.
Yeah, definitely gonna start now and definitely ask questions if I have any.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sure, no problem. Manojji? So I expect at least IQ.
Yes, sir.
And yes.
Yes,
How
sir,
are you
I'm
doing,
good.
sir? Yeah.
I'm doing good, sir. Listening to everything.
Any
Taking
confusion?
notes.
Yeah.
Taking notes. I have started a new job. That's why I am not able to be in my group. I have texted them, everybody, that I'm
No
not
problem.
gonna make it.
Just a second.
So, yeah, but we are. Sorry, take your time. Yes, sir. So
Yeah.
I am not able to now connect with my group as much as I used to do before because I have a work of 7 to 7.
Yeah, no
So,
problem. You don't need to. I mean, these IQ, OQ, PQ, anyway, you don't work in a group. You work as an individual.
But I have messaged them that I'm not able to do it.
Yeah.
So I have told them, if you guys have anything, please let me know. And yesterday, we are basically telling the truth is our group kind of not all the people are kind of participating in it. And I don't have time to, and other who are active, they don't have, David has some problem. So
Sure.
yesterday night, I woke up all night and finished RRA as I could.
Yeah,
Half of
yeah.
the stuff was done, and I sent it to you as it is. I
Yeah.
have informed the group that at least
Yeah, I
who
saw
are
that
with
coming
me.
around 2 o'clock at night.
Yes, sir. I haven't slept. I don't have
So-
time any other time. So
So that's good. I see your commitment. You are trying to get things done,
yes,
which
sir.
is
I
good.
am.
It's a good sign. Yeah, it's a very good sign.
Now
Keep it up.
I will try to do the IQ as soon as I can.
Okay.
But this class is very helpful today because lots of confusions were cleared. Even I was not asking the question. The questions everybody asked was very helpful today.
Sure, no problem. All right, so that concludes the class for today. If you have any personal question, I'm still gonna stay here 10 more minutes.